Happy Sunday, Griffins, and welcome to Griffin Gazette Live. I'm Maleah Fennessey.
And I'm Mendez.
Instagram's new teen accounts aim to reduce teen social media addiction, but what do LaSalle students think of this new possibility?
Should LaSalle have one valedictorian, or should the tradition of multiple valedictorians continue? This is news for the students.
This is Griffin Gazette Live. It's quite common for students to experience some kind of social media addiction during their 4 years. In fact, according to research from Common Sense, teens average 7 hours and 22 minutes of screen time per day. However, Instagram has recently launched a new solution to the issue for teens. The newly developed Instagram teen accounts are personalized Instagram accounts that target minors on social media. These automatically private accounts directly limit the available content by filtering sensitive posts regarding subjects like drugs, eating disorders, and violence. Additionally, the mode allows parents to set a daily time limit, reminds users to leave the app after a 60-minute session, and enforces a sleep mode from 1 to 7 p.m. What impact will this have on students' social media use? And what do students think of the new changes? We go now to our correspondent in the field to find out what LaSalle students think.
How do you feel about parents controlling your Instagram account and screen time hours?
I think it's okay to kind of softly monitor, just to make sure students or kids, they aren't brain rotting a lot on Instagram, or being talking to people who shouldn't. But I think at the end of the day, they have to have trust and to the child and the parent.
Okay, I feel like for me, I wouldn't want it, but then I think about my younger brother, and I think he definitely needs restrictions. So I guess it's valid.
My mom kind of already has a screen time on my phone, so I'm a little used to it, but for others who are on their phones constantly, it might be a little bit of a change if their parents decide to actually do that. So yeah.
I think it's a little annoying, only because because if you're under the age of 16, then it's oh, you can't control your own Instagram, so.
I understand, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, they don't. So.
Oh, they used to, but they stopped for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
There has been some controversy over the varying number of valedictorians elected at LaSalle. Traditionally, there is one student considered the highest academic achiever amongst the many that graduate each year. LaSalle does not traditionally follow its tradition and instead chooses to celebrate the top 10 students of each year. Some argue that this decrease in competition for the title could lead to less effort or less promising results in terms of top students' performance. Others argue, however, that it would not be fair to deprive students who were so close to winning the title and dedicated so much of their time to it. We go now to our correspondent in the field to see what LaSalle students think.
Do you believe that LaSalle should have multiple valedictorians?
I recently saw a post on the internet. It said we need to have a speech from the highest ranked and also the lowest ranked students so that we get both perspectives, and I would advocate for that more than anything else.
10 out of a whole school is still a lot, and a lot of people work really hard to get that, so I think it's nice to have 10. Yeah.
Because you can't just have one spot for one person who's doing their best when there's multiple people who's doing their best.
On the average outing to the grocery store, it isn't uncommon to see the plastic bags from the checkout counters to being loaded into the car. On September 22nd, Governor Gavin Newsom signed Senate Bill 1053, a bill that has an objective of banning plastic bags in grocery stores by January 1st, 2026. After previous legislation had loopholes that found companies producing thicker plastic bags and therefore more plastic overall, this modification of Newsom's past plastic bag laws hopes to decrease how much plastic Californians use. Do LaSalle students think these changes will be worth the hassle, or is it unnecessary?
LaSalle ASB has recently decided to adopt a new tradition, Quadcella. In this planned Coachella, the infamous music festival that draws extravagantly dressed crowds to the desert each year, 5 student bands of varying genres and electrifying vocals will be showcasing their talents. Sometime this spring semester, the quad will be filled with live music, carnival games, food trucks, and face painting. Students will be able to wander around, play games, or sit on a blanket to enjoy the beautiful weather and music. Students are eagerly anticipating the event and hope that come spring, this new tradition will be one to remember.
LaSalle, make sure to read today's articles and more at lahsgriffingazette.com.
Thank you for tuning in to Griffin Gazette Live, where we bring you the news you need to know.